What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Reacting to Are These Pedals All the Same? The TubeScreamer test by Wampler Pedals. So what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be reacting to Are These Pedals All the Same? The TubeScreamer test by Wampler Pedals. So please go to Wampler Pedals and give them a sub. Great YouTube channel. A lot of really good gear demo videos, fantastic reviews. And also give this original video a like. I got the description of the, I got the original video in the description below. Please go and give the original video a like. Now, without any further delay, I just want to get right into this. I love these kind of videos and I hope there's going to be a bit of a blind shootout taste test type thing where, I think they're going to probably shoot out, the name brand, the TS-808s, the classic ones with, the more modern ones, and all the various knockoffs. I believe that's what they're going to do. So let's check it out.
Got an idea.
Okay.
I am willing to bet that the average person can't tell the difference between bone stock TubeScreamers.
Okay. All right.
Have you ever ran through a bunch of them yourself?
No.
Yeah. Have you ever got a great pedal and you're like, this thing sounds so good?
Yeah.
And then you look on the internet and you're like, this is just a TubeScreamer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like all the pseudo stuff going on, you're like,
yeah.
But I thought it was like the magical clone circuit or whatever. And you're like, oh, that was a bad monkey.
The TubeScreamer is so tried, tested, and true. The TubeScreamer is on more recordings than you could possibly imagine. So that's not really that much of a surprise to me. I know, especially with like more classic rock to 80s rock tones, it's usually always a TubeScreamer into like a JCM 800 type Marshall or other lower gain Marshalls. And the obvious for the blues tone is the, forever classic made by Stevie Ray Vaughan TubeScreamer into a Fender tube amp, and there you go.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait, Bad Monkey's just a TubeScreamer.
Yeah. Kind of like alkaline plus water. Is there a flavor difference really? Probably not.
I can taste the difference.
Oh, sure.
I can.
Well, you could, but I can't. Yeah. I hydrate normally.
It's like spring water versus distilled. It's the same thing.
Yeah, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Tomato?
So anyways,
yeah.
So I've got a bunch of TubeScreamers that you can't see right now.
Okay. I can't see them for real.
You can't, you really
He's not lying.
I have them all set the same. So I have the gain all the way up to really exaggerate all the TubeScreameriness. I just made that word up.
Great Scrabble word.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I like it.
Tone controls at noon. Volume set to ear. So I think they're pretty much unity volume. I think we need to ask people which one they think is the actual 808. Because I have an 808 on here. I've got a Maxon OD 808. I've got a TS7, TS9. I've got a Joyo Vintage, which is a TubeScreamer. And I've got an old full drive too, which is a TubeScreamer. So let's start with the TS9 since everybody knows what that sounds like. So let's get a clean tone first. I'm going to get out of the range of the camera and start fiddling some knobs.
So as he says, he's letting us know that this is the 909 because most people know what this one sounds like. So I'm guessing, I don't know if it's going to be just a blind taste test for him that he's got playing the guitar, or if it's going to be a blind taste test for us as well, too. We'll find out.
All right, so that's our litmus, I guess you could say. That's
Okay.
our home court. That's where we're starting from, the TS9. So
Okay.
from here on out, I'm just going to yell pedal 1, pedal 2, pedal 3.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
pedal 4.
Sorry, I got lost there for a
Let's-
minute, but yeah, I got it.
Let's see if you got golden ears.
I hear no difference. I hear no real difference at all. No real difference at all. Wow, I love these videos. Putting all the gear snobbery to bed and just saying, yeah, you know what? You don't have to spend that much money. There's cheaper alternatives. I love these kind of videos for this so much. It even sounds like he's got the volumes mixed in post, at least in post or whatever, like, balanced out well. Because that's one thing that kind of tricks people, and especially if they change tubes or if they change pickups sometimes, they think they're hearing a difference in sound when all they're really hearing is a difference in output. So if these do have, even though the gain, might be at noon on all of them, noon on this one's gain might be a little hotter than noon on this one's gain and vice versa. It sounds like he's doing a really good job at balancing the volumes, because that will really mess with people's ears. We tend to think of the louder one as, oh, that sounds better. Well, it's not necessarily better. It's just louder. No difference. I hear no difference. I hear no difference. Wow.
Is there any that sounded radically different, I guess?
Pedal 6 for sure, I feel like.
Okay.
It almost, I don't want to say cleaner. It just felt less dirt.
Really?
To me, yeah. Can I hear pedal 6 again? Because
Sure.
now you got me second guessing myself.
This time around, it sounds louder.
And then give me, if you don't mind, pedal 4 again.
That time around, there seemed to be just a difference in output to me, like I was just talking about. And maybe he did something a little bit different with the output when he wanted him to play back. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess maybe not less dirt between pedal 6 and 4, just less of a, I feel like one growls a little bit more. Pedal 4 does to me.
Actually, now that was pedal 4, that one sounded like it had a little less gain than 1 through 3 this time around listening to it. But even though there was a difference, the difference is negligible. It's so little. It's so little. And again, everybody, for videos like this, if you're trying to hear the difference in tone and you're listening through the speakers in your phone, it's not going to do any justice to the video. You're going to hear no difference for sure. Make sure that you're using some good quality earbuds, headphones, or listening through your home surround sound system or something like that. But yeah, You know, I think this time around, it really sounded to me like the gain was a little less, not as TubeScreamery goodness in it as 1 through 3.
That's it. That's all 6.
I'm all turning around.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
They sound, I mean, from down here where I'm at, they all sound the same.
Maybe it's just because you're down there, you know, positioning mics and things.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, they're super similar. There's just little characteristics, especially, you know, if you're listening a lot to different tones, makes you play differently.
They all roughly have the same gains, technically, I suppose.
Okay.
I want to go.
Now, I want to bring up something that the guitar player, I can't remember his name, the guitar player that he's got sitting in for him here, brought up. Well, maybe I'm hearing things a little bit differently because you're down in front of the amp and you're dialing in things and I'm sitting up here. This brings up an age-old argument about tone when it comes to things, you know, versus the recorded sound versus the in the room, the feel in the sound in the room. I get it, you know, with, you know, now finally having my first full tube guitar amplifier and cranking the hell out of that for the last week or so. You know, I get it now. I get it to that extent. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the difference in tone because it's going to be recorded. At the end of the day, everything gets recorded, and it's about what goes in through that microphone to go onto a recording, like old school way of saying a record, or music that you're going to be pressed to be streaming, or like a YouTube video like this, you know, to go out to the world or to a live stream, or it's going to go through that microphone at a live show to go through the PA. And at the end of the day, you know what I mean? That's what it's going to come down to. And it is going to sound a little bit different to somebody in the room. Because the funniest part is, you know, he felt it sounded a little different. And maybe that's just because of their two positions in the room. Because when he was down there, you know, tweaking all the knobs and everything, he's like, really? You thought it sounded, you know, really? You know, it has all to do to proximity. The same reason, and the same reason that when you record an amplifier, you can move that microphone a millimeter in either direction, and it's going to make a huge difference in the sound. So their proximity in the room next to whatever amp they're going through, I see a bunch of amps behind them. I don't know which one they're actually going through, but yeah, that's probably got a lot to do with whatever difference they're both hearing in the studio.
Go back and forth between a TS9 and a TS808.
Okay.
Because I did a video a few years ago where I'm like, these are the same pedal, folks.
Okay.
And some people made death threats.
Oh, wow.
No,
Yeah.
but,
Okay. Well,
but
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you never know, though, in the day and age of the internet. I wouldn't doubt it, you know, it wouldn't exactly surprise me, but I'm like, thinking to myself, like, come on, man. This is guitars and guitar stuff. Can we really just chill about it? It's not like all those other issues that people are going nuts about. That's one of the things I like about, you know, guitar stuff and being a creator in the music, guitar, bass kind of community is that, you know, it tends to stay away from all that sort of stuff.
some people got very angry about how stupid I was. And
were those the people that bought the more expensive pedal and you said, hey, listen?
oh,
Okay. Anyways.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe. So I'm going to give you one more. I'll start with the next one.
Okay.
You tell me whether you think it's the 808 or the TS9.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think?
Pedal 1, was that the TS9?
No.
Ah.
Circuitry wise,
Mhm.
same thing. Pretty much. A little bit of output and impedance difference.
Okay.
But It's so minor, a little bit of bass, but it's so minor.
Okay.
Completely on the record, I couldn't tell the difference between them at all. And you know what? I'd like to think that I've got pretty decent ears, but yeah, like next to no difference. If there was any difference, it was so tiny, it's not even funny.
I don't think you're going to hear it in a guitar amp.
Okay.
Maybe if you threw like some 60 hertz waves to it or something like that, maybe a little bit then.
Get a little sauce.
But I mean, there's also tolerance.
Sauce.
Okay.
So, you know, you could have one pedal that, you know, a resistor might measure 950 ohms and another one might measure 1050.
Okay.
And those all those differences together can make things sound different.
Are there other factors too?
Oh,
Or is
yeah,
it,
because
you know, pure science and numbers.
all those parts have a tolerance to them.
Okay.
So for one pedal to another, the total culmination of everything together can just equal a pedal that sounds different. Even though when you draw out the schematic and you're using perfect terms like 1,000 ohms,
Sure.
Which just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Then on paper, it could be the exact same.
But as far as player to player, it really is like if you're explaining to somebody, hey, listen, dude, this is or lady, this is it is what it is. Like there's no magic sauce or like I can hear a distinct that you really truly it's a placebo effect almost. Is that what you're kind of saying, or are there?
I mean, so I have this thing where.
Alrighty, I'm not even going to pretend like I know enough or anything really about electronics and how electronics are wired. Obviously, he does. I do not. But I think what he's kind of getting at is that for the most part, the circuitry is the same, and the differences, variances in the circuitry, although be it difference is, to X amount of the circuitry, is really going to be quite negligible, is what I think he's getting at.
It's like if a person enjoys playing a TS-808, like they just feel connected to it in some way. Even if it's in their head, they should do that. Because that brings them joy and that makes them happy. That makes them want to make music and want to play music. Yeah. And so therefore, like, even though I can say, well, your Joyo is on paper the same thing. It is Joyo. Yeah, it's a Joyo. So on paper, it's the same thing. Okay. But it just depends on each individual person, I suppose.
Okay. Would you say, like, I know for me, I'm looking to get a pedal on a budget typically. Like,
same.
For example, my first TubeScreamer I bought for like $60.
Right.
And I think it was, one of the newer ones, obviously, but it's like, it still sounded good to me. It kind of did the thing.
That's all that matters.
As opposed to some guy that comes in and spent $500 on reverb on one,
Right.
Don't be that guy. You don't need to be that guy. If you actually have that kind of money to spend on a single pedal, as opposed to somebody like me, and I'm guessing most of you that are watching are in the same situation as me. I'm by no means financially well off. So when I get gear, I want the best bang for my buck. I want something that sounds great, but I am not worried about the name on the pedal or guitar. Hey, I've been all about Harley Bentons lately. I've been in love with them. I've ordered 4 in a row. That is not a glamorous name. They're just, like I said before, I had to modify, saying cheap guitars, not cheap guitars, inexpensive guitars. Or in this case, inexpensive gear, like more inexpensive pedals. You don't have to be that person. But if you do have the money and you want to, because, reasons, then go for it if you can. But don't break the bank thinking that, getting the actual vintage TS-808 TubeScreamer for $500 is going to make all that much difference in your playing. Usually a $50 clone will do you just as well.
Right. So it's, so that's interesting to hear because I think a lot of people get that price tag envy kind of thing.
Yeah,
but this pedal does that thing, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, the full drive is one of those pedals where there's some different clipping diodes. There's a little bit more difference in that circuit than there would be in a typical TubeScreamer, but it's still 98%. Pretty close to it.
Okay.
98%. And again, like I'm always saying with these things, that's just soloed out. Just that instrument. Once you add everything else to the mix, and for the most part, he's demoing those just into an amp, and I don't hear any delay, any chorus, any reverb, or anything else like that. When you have a full mix, not only are you going to have a lot more instruments, but there's going to be more effects on the guitar, and on the overall, that 2% difference is going to disappear.
So, I mean, overall, like if I was on a budget,
yeah,
I'd say grab a Joyo.
Yeah.
But I'd also say that if you're, if you look at the 808 and you're like, oh, I've got to have this because Stevie Ray Vaughan had one and I'm a huge fan.
There it is.
Buy an 808.
Yeah. I think it's also like you could, like you said, great. I feel like if it inspires you and it makes you have fun, that's really the whole deal, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're cooking with like fancy pots and pans, and I don't know anything about cooking or pots and pans, but if you enjoy it more because you have the Emerald Lagasse set versus the
you already know exponentially more than me.
Yeah,
that's a person. That sounds like a person. Is that a person?
Brand Amazon Basics version or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Emerald Lagasse. I think he played golf or something. I'm not sure.
Tennis sounds like a tennis player.
Tennis player.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah. So, but I mean,
there is a cook named Emerald. He had, I don't know if his last name was Lagasse though, but there is a cook, chef, cook. I don't know the difference. Name Emerald though. You're not totally wrong, but I don't know if it's Lagasse. We could figure this out with a quick Google search, but not totally a part of the video, so don't really need to.
It's kind of the same sort of thing. You can still make an omelet.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy it a lot more with the Emerald version of the pot or the pan or whatever it is that you use to cook an omelet with, then that's the one to get.
It was about pedals. It's now about cooking. Yeah, I like it.
Do what you gotta do.
Well, so then you'd say that there's no really like Holiday Inn Express version of the omelet. If you've ever stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, it's a plastic.
Is that an omelet?
They claim it's an omelet. I'm saying would that be the Joyo thing or no?
No, I don't think so because we're talking analog circuitry here, and if you look at the schematics are the same. Okay, so it's going to be super, super close to being the same.
Okay,
but again, you have to take out all the tolerances and variances of parts. Okay, so assuming every part measured exactly what was written on it, they should sound identical. Yeah,
I totally got turned around. They all just started to sound
they
very similar, which they should, is what you're saying. But I thought I'd know a very clear difference.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on which TubeScreamer you thought had like the 808 tone, or which one sounded better. And really, what are your thoughts on the 808 versus all the other pedals there? Is it close enough that you don't need to worry about it?
Absolutely.
Is it a completely different thing? Did it make him sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan? I don't know. But comment below. We'll see you next time with a new video.
All right. Like I said, I noticed no difference at all. I think the second pass around, when they went through all of them, number 4 sounded like it had less gain, less TubeScreamery goodness, as they were saying. But when they went through it a couple other times, I think that there was starting to become a bit of a difference in the output levels. That's one thing I was saying in the beginning. He's doing a great job at matching the volumes, not only the tones, but the volumes, because that's something that a lot of the times people say, oh, that one sounds better. I notice the difference in tone. I like that one better. They're just picking the one that's louder because the more output sometimes to some people equals sounds better. But anyways, I couldn't really tell any difference in all of them. Again, it's a great time to be a guitar player or a musician in general. Gear is so good and so cheap now. You can get a lot of great tone for not a lot of money. So, okay, there we have it. That was reacting to Are These Pedals All the Same? The TubeScreamer test by Wampler Pedals. Please go and give Wampler Pedals a sub. And also, I got the link in the description for the original video. Please go there and give the original video a like. And as well, on this video, my video, leave a comment on what video you'd like to see me react to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.